All right, so we're just basically going over small things for Vendetta and how I think she's supposed to be played, how I've had success as her. If you guys don't know, I don't know how to check, but I am level 18 with her. Let me see if I can check here. So I'm level 18 with her. So obviously I put in a lot, and I mean a lot of time with her, and I've learned a few things while playing her. So I played her for about 17 hours total. I've won 74 games out of 113. I've had a skill streak of 23. And then let's look for my average scores here. So average damage done is 10,000. Not the greatest. Final blows average. Again, this is quick play. So final blows is 14. And yeah, basically. And actually, you'll notice here as well, since I'll tell you about how I play her as well. The healing as well is 559 on average, right? This is the best. This is the most you could possibly get, but this is the average. So basically, we're just going to kind of talk about what she's supposed to be played like, how I've been playing her mainly, and essentially what kind of key tips to make sure that you are playing her as effective as possible. There are three core mechanical things that you're going to learn, and then the rest is just like probably three more tips that are just specifically to help you just play better. So, like I said, three things you, in my opinion, have to know if you want to do well as her in every scenario. So let's start off. First things first, I think this is probably the most important tech for Vendetta. I guess we'll talk about actually what she's supposed to be played like. So she's not a diver. She's really bad at diving when you compare her to literally every other dive in the game. Like Reaper, Venture, Tracer, Genji, any of those basically. Really Winston even, Sombra. They're just really bad at diving. Because the problem with her is that her get in, get out is not good. Because her get out is, like, you'd be surprised at how easy she is to hit while she's getting in or getting out from people who can aim in any capacity or hit anything. Versus, like, like Reaper, or I genuinely think if you took McCree and just flanked every single time with him, be more effective than what she does. Because she has a lot of trouble sustaining on her own with no help whatsoever outside of just this block. There's nothing really she can do. She has a little bit of lifesteal, but it is really difficult for her to function in the backline by herself. You really want to be by your team and enabling your team to do better, and you will do a lot if you just sit there and be enabled by your team. You'll do a lot of damage, and you'll just apply a lot of pressure, and that's your goal, is to apply a lot of pressure and damage from the front, or for wherever your tank is really. Stay in line of your healers, make sure you always have a route of escape, and you'll see a lot of success with her, while also being able to still finish off kills. There are times you need to go and finish off kills, right? And again, it's a team game. She's very team reliant. That's the first thing. So she's a vanguard. She's not a diver. She doesn't play backline. She is very much meant to stay next to your tank. She's like a brig or something. Like, you want to play with somebody. You do not want to play alone. If they're diving, you're diving too. If they're staying back, you're waiting for an opening, right? You're poking. Now you will be able to frontline a little bit with her, but again, that's limited. Just be careful and stay in range of your healers. All right, going on to her playstyle. First off, perks. She has a lifesteal perk, which is 30% lifesteal on her overhead. Take that. The onslaught is useless, and I'll tell you why later. It is useless. Do not take it. You're not going to be swinging with 8 stacks all the time. It's just not worth it. Don't take it. And then the major perks. Yeah, survivability is her problem. So damage isn't her problem, and survivability. So, like, you will die a lot on this character, especially when learning her. I die all the time still, but just take things that help you survive. And for the major perk, they're both bad. Just take the revenge one, because I've wiped teams due to this perk, but it's still really bad. I mean, really, really bad. You are cooldown reliant, but, like, not as much as you need to be. Like, you could also, like, when Sombra hacks me, I could still kill things, because you can use all the things you, like, are core to your kit. These are all of her abilities. I mean, you probably know what she does. She has a block. She can twirl. She can throw her sword and go to it. Those are all of her abilities. That's how like, that's how they function. Oh, and at the end of her, when she throws her sword, she does get a free slash. So if you want to know. Spin doesn't do anything special. It's just a spin with a good distance. It's not omnidirectional. The sword is omnidirectional. You can throw it wherever and go wherever. And then you can also combo it with the throw. So you just throw the sword, you spin, right? That's how you get the most distance. Cool. You're not going to really be ever using that except to escape or get out of spawn, but yeah. Anyways, now let's go to her tips. So now you know she's a vanguard, and you take these perks that I have here. The spin to win is also really bad. You just die. Good luck using it. You're going to die. It's not even good even if you get it off, It's literally like, it's supposed to be 120 damage. It's just bad. It has like a little bit of a spin to it, like a CC, the spin itself. It's just, it doesn't really matter. It's very wonky and it's just bad. You'll just get shot and killed. So don't take it. Take these two. I promise you, you're gonna thank me. It's gonna help you a lot. Like, the lifesteal is very important, by the way. I hope they make this a core part of her kit. You need lifesteal. You absolutely need it. If they get rid of it, I think this character will just be even more buns. I don't think she's that good, but she has her uses. I like her. She can be strong, but yeah. Anyways, first thing on Vendetta I'd say is learning the overhead. So it's just 3-hit combo. That's it. Probably this is one of the mechanical most important things about her. Just jump. Jump at the end of it. So when you're in the air and you hold left click, you lunge forward. No matter what, even if you're like not jumping, like if you stand on something and walk off of it. Oops. So if you hit twice, walk off, lunge. Okay, it's hard to do, whatever. Regardless, if you're in the air, you'll lunge forward. So jump after your second slash to get distance. It is directional, so like if you do it and then jump to the right, you will go to the right and it'll slow you down. So you want to hold forward to get the most distance. So you got to judge your distances. Like if you're trying to get to a target, this is literally bread and butter and exactly what you need to do, because otherwise you won't be able to reach your target. It has pretty good distance. Make sure you're just holding forward when you do it. That's literally like 90% of this character is doing this. In the front with your tank, slicing. Because people don't expect you to just lunge like that. So just do this. And just lunge forward. And that's how you're going to catch most of your targets. Don't waste your cooldowns for it. And again, I'll tell you why in a second. But this is the most important combo, in my opinion. The most important thing you need to know. It's not even a combo. It's the most important thing you need to know. Jump at the end of your combo to get distance, right? You don't always need to jump. Sometimes it's going to mess you up. Like, when you're next to your target and you know you're going to hit them, just let it slice down. Just jump if you need distance, right? And you're going to need distance a lot. People are going to be escaping, stunning, keeping you away. Make sure you are jumping to finish off targets. They don't expect it. I promise you, I've had so many matches. People think they're not going to reach them. I've had McCree's get mid-range. I'd be sitting here blocking and then jump. Boom, right? So make sure you are jumping at the end of your combo, first and foremost. The next thing I'd say that is absolutely mechanically necessary is going to be the double overhead. So this is the next most important thing. So 2 slices, jump, sword, slash. I think the overhead, 30% lifesteal of her, I don't know what 30% of 130 is, but I think it's like 25 or 30 or something like that. I don't know. Regardless, you're getting a good amount of health back from this. Doing the double overhead will allow you to just get a lot of the health back that you lost. And on top of that, right, see, like, on top of just getting a lot of the health back that you lost, it allows you to do 260 damage pretty quickly. There is a glitch right now that lets you do it twice anyways if you melee in between, apparently, for the overhead. It's going to be fixed. I don't know how to do it. I've done it like once or twice. Don't worry about it. It's going to be fixed. This is how you actually play here. So the reason why you're doing this again is just for damage, and it helps your survivability, and it helps you get up your damage. So you're not going to spam this all the time, but it's extremely important to help you kill tanks, to help you kill people in general. I've gotten so many kills where I jump in for an overhead, right? And then throw the sword down and just do this. And the best way to do it is to, the farther down you can look, the better. The problem is, it is in first person. We're not in stadium, unfortunately, yet. So best I can recommend is backing up, throwing it down, and slicing it yet. But I don't think I've really ever seen Vendettas do this. I don't see a lot of people even make use of this tack for the double overhead. Just, this is like what you're planning on doing, right? If that Q is up, you don't want to do this where you engage and then go in, because then you have nothing left. Now you have to sit here and wait, right? 6 seconds of waiting for the cooldown to come back. No, you want to engage with this, try to make distance, and once you get there, boom, right? They're dead. It's extremely important. Like I said, you do those 2 things already, the jump tech with the overhead, already amazing. And the third most important mechanical skill of Vendetta that's going to help you win all your games is literally blocking after a slash. So you jump, block, right? Jump, block, jump, block, right? So the reason why you're blocking after your third slash, after the overhead comes down, make sure it confirms and blocking, is because if you do this, you're just allowing a lot of damage to hit yourself while you're like, while you're waiting. When the only time you should be taking damage is when you're attacking, right? When you're getting ready to get your life back with the life steal. See, I just got like 39 HP back. 39 HP. That's the only time you should be taking damage, is when you're doing that. You need to be blocking otherwise. This will allow you to sit in the front line until your meter depletes. And you can see the meter on the right, going down. She can take a lot of damage. This has helped me immensely, just stay in the front line fighting tanks. As long as it's not like a Roadhog or anything, or anyone who can like stop your grab. You can just sit here and poke them like this and look for an opening and go for a double slash, right? And you always want to block after. I still have trouble doing this though. You don't need to do this if you're like chasing a low HP target or whatever it might be. Just do this literally when you're frontlining. Do this when you're fighting someone or dueling someone. Make sure they don't have a window to hit you here, right? Only attack if you're in front of somebody when you need to. Do not just do, you know, don't block. Again, you're going to be taking a lot of damage for no reason. And you want to make sure you're blocking after the end of every combo. I promise you, it will reduce so much. And at first, I wasn't doing this thinking it wasn't that important. It is. Just make sure you're blocking at the end of every third slash. I feel like a lot of these mechanics could be considered annoying, but they're very important. She doesn't have a high HP pool. She's pretty easy to get popped. She's very squishy, but this will literally up your tankiness by so much. And this has helped me, like I said, dominate my games. People just don't expect for her to be as tanky as she is. And a lot of people are just rushing in, focusing on just the damage part, spamming all their cooldowns. Don't. Like, play smart, play safe. Play like you're like a mid-range DPS. Not even mid-range, very close mid-range DPS that needs to get close, but that also has, you know, a shield, like survivability. Like, you need to use it. You get hit, you die, so make sure you're blocking. You're trying to avoid all damage, right? And that's pretty much it. Those are the three, in my opinion, main tips that you need to know to, like, mechanically execute everything, right? The end, you know, the overhead, the double overhead, or the overhead jump, double overhead, and then at the end of it, you block, right? After every third slash, just block. Like I said, you're mitigating so much damage. It's not like a cancel. It's just you're blocking damage, right? And it will, like I said, it will help. So, outside of that, the only other tips that I can really give is make sure you're keeping your resource meter. Don't be afraid to finish off a low HP target with a slash, but don't spam it. Like, throw like one slash if they're low and hope it kills. Otherwise, unless you're fighting like a Junkrat, there are bad matchups where you can just throw out slashes like Junkrat. Freya's been a noticeably bad one. Just basically people who you can't get close to. Some characters, again, mainly Junkrat is what I'm thinking of. You kind of just like, if you're stuck in a 1v1, just start throwing out slashes. Otherwise, try to just run away from him. Like, don't try to solo him really ever. Play for the objective and pray you have an opportunity to kill him. But he can kill you really easily even if he messes up, so just be careful. Otherwise, keep your resource meter. Keep it up. It's so important that you keep this. It only charges up when you're just not doing anything. It doesn't charge up any other way that I know of. So, you know, like, use it sparingly. Once it's gone, retreat, wait for it to come back. You need this. Try not to spam slashes. It takes a whole bar, and it's so not worth not having block. And your block will go fast against big threats. It will. But you can block a lot of damage. Just make sure you're keeping it. Again, that's going to be the way you're going to be doing a lot of damage, staying alive. Doing this overhead, blocking, and again, those in-betweens where you're dealing tip damage, it does start coming back. So if I get hit right here, you start swinging, you notice it's coming back, but it's going to be a slow process. Again, you can wait if you really need to. You can run away, just wait. But like I said, just make sure you're keeping your resource for actual blocking. It's just going to be better than spamming slashes or anything. It's just not worth it. Your slash, I think, does 80 damage or something. It really isn't worth not getting just a double, like, overhead, and then being able to block after. So I couldn't block there. So, like I said, way more important. The fifth thing I can think of is probably spin counter charge. I think that's the next thing. So your spin does counter. I can't show you, but this does counter like Doomfist Punch, Rhine Charge, Break Bash, literally anything that like you could fall down with. This will make you fall down if you clash with them. So if you're fighting Rhine, the second you hear the rugged noise of him dashing, just press the button into him, because you're gonna die otherwise. You can't survive his pin, no matter what. So just charge into him, unless you have your like bounty thing on or whatever. Just charge into him. Just fall down and pray your team helps you. Otherwise, you're dead anyways. But if you're going to get pinned or someone else is getting pinned, you can just charge into him and stop it. There's really no reason not to do that. Same with Doomfist. Doomfist is your absolute, like, one of your worst tanks to fight. He's the second worst one in my opinion, maybe third. I think he's worse than Roadhog. I think Zarya is first. Roadhog is probably third. for maybe a second just because you can't block him, but he doesn't have to like only go for you. But Doomfist, like, you can't do anything to Doomfist unless he's not paying attention to you. So, like, yeah, like, Doomfist is a monster. I've struggled more against Doomfist than Roadhog, for sure. Roadhog has been, like, my absolute counter in a game, and I still think Doomfist is way worse. So, like I said, it's just spin counter charge for Doom, spin counter charge for Ryan, or anyone else I can't think of, Brig, even yourself. Like, if you see her spinning at you for some reason, you can just spin at her and she'll fall down too. It's really useful, and it's helped me survive some encounters that I wasn't supposed to survive, so really, really helpful, in my opinion. But yeah, outside of that, like I said, that's pretty much it. Like, you don't have to be afraid to finish up low HP targets. Trust me, you will get kills with this. Oftentimes, I fail to kill a target, just throw a slash that's 1 HP, and then if it doesn't kill them, if you need to spin into them, if they're low, also do that. You will probably trade a life, but if like, you're going after a healer and they're 1 HP, and your spin is up, you might as well just try to get that kill. Like, because you're probably going to get it. Your spin will be enough to kill them, usually, if they're low, if you can see their health bar. But if you miss the slash or something, too. If you go in, right, and then, like, you do all this, they're not dead, just throw a slash, right? You gotta kind of... The problem with the Vendetta, I think, is that you have to really have really quick thinking, and you have to be very patient. And I feel like a lot of people are not either of those things, so she's gonna be like a, like a 0.1% throw pick, and I mean, I'm not patient either, I just run in. But I notice, again, when I play slow, I think about what I have to do closely, I think about how I can finish off targets, focus on executing, like things I have talked about here, everything usually comes out better. So, that, again, like I said, if you focus on, again, the top 3 things that I told you, you should be okay. Like, you can actually play this character and her, again, feel reasonable. I do think I would like some buffs. I just really don't know how to buff her outside of making her a nuisance. I think she needs a damage reduction, somewhere. Maybe when she's spinning or something, she gets damage reduction for how many targets she hits. That stacks. She needs, in my opinion, more health. I think she needs 300 health. And then she needs to lose damage on her overhead. She just literally needs to not do 130. She should probably do like 110 or something. 130 I think is too much if you want to make her tankier. She does need to be a little bit more balanced, especially for low elo. But I just don't think she's going to be a popular pick in anything past like Diamond. I don't think you're going to see her really. She's better in an organized team, I will say. So if you have a good DPS, a good tank, obviously good healers, she's going to shine a lot more. But again, it's one of those things where like you could just have played someone else. She doesn't really have any specialties outside of just kind of like wowing you with the melee factor, and then also I think it's just really the double overhead and then also the survivability you just won't expect from her. I think she offers that as like a little niche, like, oh, no one really has that in the DPS category outside of like it's like a May who can survive really easy. I guess Venture to an extent when she goes underground, but like just actively blocking damage like in place of your tank. It's kind of like Brig or something, right? It's just really nice. So, that's just how I play her. That's my tips. I'll post a video at the end of this, and yeah, you can just kind of see one of my matches and see how it plays out. But yeah, I promise you, learn these things, and this will help your Vendetta game so much. And with Vendetta's ultimate, you can literally just throw it down. I recommend you can use it. You can do it in the sky, but against good players, you're gonna get shut out. You really want to do it as secretly as possible. So there's always the sky tech where you try to line it up with sky and pray no one kills you. It does have some clunky interactions. I'm not really sure how you use this the most optimally. What I like to do is stand by my right, like in the middle of my team, behind cover, and usually just spam another tank or wherever I can hit during that process. So if you were looking for advice on the ultimate, that's the only way I know how to use it. Tapping it early doesn't really help. I think in any situation, you might as well just die and keep it and try to make another play another time. It's not a good panic ult. You really just want to have it set up. Unless you have Grav or something, it's probably not going to happen. But stand by your team and just hold it, charge it, and try to hit the tank. People are just going to run away from it, though. So it really just depends. That's how I like to use it. If you really want to throw your sword up and then try to ult people, that's on you, right? You can just throw your sword up. Do that. Again, it's all on you. It has really good range, so I just like to use it around a corner. Okay, so we have a few hours before Vendetta goes away, and I just had this game, and I feel like this kind of perfectly exemplifies what I was talking about in my guide video, how to play her effectively and how she's supposed to be played versus how everyone else is playing her. you'll literally see in the game what I do, and I'll just explain what I'm doing here. So we'll go through this real quick. So blam. Oh, I don't know why it says we're the enemy. So it's gonna be a little confusing, but we're the red team. So this is a replay. Oops, how do I add this? It's like a little confusing, but we are the red team. Dude, these Annas were relentless in this. They like, you know, funny, they don't have a Vendetta. Every game I played, there was like a Vendetta, and I'm glad there wasn't, because this is, again, no one's gonna play her when she comes out in comp. So this perfectly exemplifies what you're gonna be dealing with and how you're gonna have to play. So remember, they're blue. Instantly using block. Lifeweaver did help me there. I might have died if he didn't pull me. I was gonna dash back. Did the overhead combo. So I'm putting pressure on Ramatra. Got anti again. I'm staying back. You notice how I'm not overextending into their backline or anything right now. Ramatra's dead, so now this is when you're supposed to. So now, obviously, I'm going to go after Ashe because they lack a backline, and I have help too. So I'm going forward. This is a bad... I should not be doing this because Ana could literally shut me down so easily. She kind of does here. I'm pressuring Mercy. I got slept. It's cool. Her overhead spikes, so that's pretty cool. I don't think I mentioned that. Ramatra's on me, so I dash away. I don't think I needed that, but I'm glad he did it. Like I said, I feel like I got a lot of help this game. I don't die. Spoiler alert. So, alright, so Ramatra, my team starts dying. So I'm focusing Ramatra here as he's running in. Really putting pressure on him. I killed him, right? I don't know if I can show the stats mid-game. I can't press it. Oops. Regardless, like, I'm playing slow, I'm playing back, I'm playing, you know, I'm playing frontline, but like I'm playing next to my tank, or at least I'm trying to. But I can't overcommit. They're all up there. I'm just chilling right now. But I can't overcommit just because she's not a good diver. Like I said, you can see how her mobility is really slow. Your whole goal is to basically cause disruption from the front. So like Ramatra, I know he's like, you know, kind of more melee oriented, but we're playing for the objective here. Your tank is the one who's going to create space for you to do anything. So like Doom goes in, I go in, right? Ramatra's going for me, I'm dying. I instantly have to, again, escape at low HP. So I'm just sitting there waiting for heals. Now, Lifeweaver did tree, but I often die during tree when I'm low, so I just decided to run. Alright, so we go back in, right? So we look for an opening. Ramatra's stepping in, we get antied here. I'm chilling for a sec. So I usually do this around a corner, like I said. When I ult, I just don't go up in the air because you get shot down and murdered against good players, so you can't do it in the air. So that's why I always usually do it around a corner or anything. I do a little bit of an overhead there, not really. See, the problem here with doing the overhead combo is a lot of the times I'm getting pressured or low. I probably just forget sometimes, but in this game I don't really do it a lot just because it's just relentless fire. And they brought out a Freya, of course. She's also a pretty big counter to you. Symmetra's a decent counter to you as well. Obviously just because of her turrets, and you are melee only. So I'm going for Symmetra here. She's dead. Berk help me. We have a really good comp for Vendetta, I will say. Just divers. But I have to, again, like I said, I have to play, I have the luxury of playing pretty slow anyways. Alright, nice. He's dead. So I'm getting pelted by Freya here. I try to go in for a sec. I back up. See, I'm taking all that damage. I'm blocking all that damage. Look at my block meter. It's now 1. I'm not overextending with the slash that much. I do waste it a couple of times trying to like destroy her turrets and stuff. And you'll see that here, I think. She puts that up. So I'm like, slash. And I missed it. And I was like, okay. So I do it again. There we go. And then you just wait. You have to wait for your thing to come back. You can't block. You have to wait. Yeah, like I said, you can't block where it doesn't come back. And whenever Ramatra puts this down, I usually go out of it because it slows you so much. I feel like it's better to just disengage that. Doom's are really deep in there. He dies here. Yeah, like I said, I should have probably followed him there, but it's whatever. They're really letting us get a lot of distance with this cart. But like I said, you play slow, you play behind your tank. Again, I'm probably not... I jumped up there to check what was going on. Freya's just up there. I'm probably not playing as aggressively as I should be with the tank, but I'm also trying to be pretty careful. I think I missed both of those overheads, I think. That was embarrassing. I kill him here, actually. Since he's low, so I'm like, let me just confirm this, because he's low. I might as well throw that out. If you know they're low, confirm it. 2. Yeah, it's so hard to hit her. She's so mobile. Got her once. Got her. Right, and then I think it's over. That's it. So a pretty slow game. I don't know how to check the... That's essentially how you play her. And you can literally just see my stats here. If I go to game reports, teams, this is my stats, right? So I didn't die, as you saw. 4,481 damage. I didn't really take advantage of the heal that much. Like I said, I was playing super safe. In games like this, you won't be taking advantage of the heal as much if they're not pressuring you that hard. They did give us a lot of space. They gave us a lot of time. We had a good Hanzo, but like I said, you get the gist of the idea. You will heal more. You will die a lot more. You will have to be a little bit more aggressive in some of these games where you don't have a comp that centers around Vendetta. It's not like this comp is made for her, but it's a diver. It's more of a dive heavy comp with a Hanzo and Life Weaver in the back. So you have a lot more room to move forward with your tank versus like if you had a Sigma, right? But like I said, this was a great game in my opinion, showcasing exactly what you need to do when it comes to stepping forward and how you play Vendetta. Like I said, if I decided to dive endlessly or try to go for plays in the back, they just murder you. You're not like Genji. Even this was maybe a game for Genji, but like you're not Genji, you're not Reaper, you're just not a good diver. Like you really aren't. It sucks. I feel like they explained her as like a high risk, high reward character who gets in, gets out, but she's high risk and little reward because you might get a kill, but generally you will not get a kill. Generally they'll stop you, they'll destroy you, and you have such horrible escape that you're getting in means just complete death. So play from the front line. That's why I think she's a little mediocre. I do think she needs buffs of some sort. I like her as she is, but she definitely needs buffs in my opinion. Versus like more so than nerfs. I don't think she's that strong. Maybe a nerf to her overhead slash to like 110 or something. I'd be okay if they're nerfing her damage if they buff her survivability. So like put her 300 HP, right? Maybe her spin gives her damage reduction, and then lower her overhead to, honestly they can lower it to like by 30 to 100. I don't really care as long as they make her tankier. Again, she's just, like I said, she is really made of glass unless you're just playing super passive block. So, but like I said, this is how you play her. She's a Vanguard. She's basically a second front ladder. She's like Brig, damage Brig, essentially, without the healing. So, but I love her. She's my favorite character in the game. I'm gonna keep playing her. See if there's anything else I can figure out. We'll see what she's like on launch. See if they nerf or buff her. So, fingers crossed they give her some survivability. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.